Good morning, everybody. I aimed the camera pretty good up here. Come on, leave her alone. Come on over here with me. Yes. Minnie's been up here attacking her lizard. I'm thinking it's approaching the mid-morning nap time. They have been wild all morning. Now he's gonna sit on the box that I need. But good morning. Starting a little bit early today. I know we're still on an ad, but I thought if you were ad-free, you could get some special cat treats. I am not doing well with my green screen today. This is not green though. I guess part of my apron is. Yes. There we go. I have some mugs to put together. So I'm getting some of my handles out. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to be putting some handles together, handles on the mugs today. Some of the things I threw yesterday and the day before. And some of the potion bottles. I've got some medallions together I'm going to use for those. You're gonna fall? Are you doing, you're not stuck, you're doing that on purpose. Checking the music, I'm like, I thought this was mostly instrumental. There we go. Sidley, hey, good morning. And this is Minnie. She hasn't been up here playing with the lizard as much. Maybe she just rediscovered it. I'm grabbing a few of the mugs that are ready to be put together. They are actually the tankards, so the larger mugs. And so they'll get a handle and they will get a thumb rest. See, this is usually when, this was Kiba's favorite thing to do when I would put together handles, because he could get up here and I could pet him because my hands weren't that dirty. Now, where... That's my bucket of slip. So these are pieces. I threw these like a couple days ago. They've just been, I've kept them covered up and they haven't dried out. So now they are still like, I mean, they're a little bit squishable. I can move the clay around and change the shape a bit, but they are dry enough that if I'm careful, I can pick them up and not squish them. And then I've got my the dregs of my throwing bucket in here, which is just like goop. And the watered down clay that I use to glue the handles on with. So I've added a little bit of slip. And then I've got the handles here made up already. We measure them into 7-inch strips. Let's move this a little bit over this way maybe. And so we use an extruder to make these. You may have seen people talk about pulling handles. But this is, for me, a much more efficient way to make handles, and they're all nice and uniform. So we have an extruder where we push the clay through a die, and then cut it into strips. And I have my, knocking some of the clay off of it, my paw print stamp. Oh, she's got her back to us now. There we go. So we have a mug with a handle. You were just looking at a mini pottery wheel. Ooh, like how many? Let's do this here until somebody comes back. Now I've got several things I can put on these. The medallions I have, like, I think I want to do both of these, but these guys have dried out a little bit, so when I make my medallions, I roll out a very thin slab of clay, and then we have rubber stamps that we press into the clay to make the designs, and then once they're on the mugs and they go through the bisque firing, we'll fill all this in with a black glaze or a darker color glaze, whatever has been ordered. And but these guys, like, they're like, if I try to bend this, it's gonna break. So I'm going to put some slip on the back of here with some water just to rehydrate it a little bit. It's a very, very thin piece of clay, so you can do this and without dissolving it, because like water dissolves the clay. But if I just put a little bit on the back, it's going to rehydrate the clay enough that it can be moved around. And I do that also with mugs that maybe are a tad bit too dry to assemble. You can add a little bit of water on either side of the mug, and then, or with slip, and it'll rehydrate it a little bit, enough so that you can attach pieces and parts and they won't stick. Or, I mean, sorry, they will stick, but they won't crack. So we've got our medallions. I put some slip on here, and then I'm just smoothing down the edges. This is one of the book ones. I like big books, and I cannot lie. These are going to be stock for our next show. Oops, we might have a paw print. Minnie's walking over the handles. Hey? You want to come over here? Oop, I didn't do the most important part here. I did not do the paw print stamp of approval. That's on the bottom of every mug. Almost forgot. Hey. It's the smaller one that was like aimed at kids, but it's nicer with a foot pedal, where you'd love a proper wheel, but you don't have the money or space for one. Gotcha. Is it like a tabletop one? I've seen those too. And so now I've put water, so now I can bend that a little bit more. That one, not as much yet, but I'll go ahead. I'll let those soak for a bit more. I may actually put some more on that one. This one is going to be Sherlock Holmes, so... Instrumentals, come on, I said instrumentals. Just smoothing these down a little bit. Need to trim this one too. I didn't cut away all the negative space yet. So I've got to trim down that little part on the pipe. Where is... I had like 3 or 4 of my cutting tools, and now I don't have any of them. The little like X-Acto knife type cutting tools that have a scoop on one end and the blade on the other. Well, I had gathered them, and I don't know where they've all gone to. Because I found like 3 of them.
Really flying. Okay.
It's a tabletop, so you're eyeing your nibblings picnic table when it's a tad bit warmer.
And it's so packed.
Is that your nieces and nephews?
The band sounds great.
I only recently learned, if that's the word or something similar to that, as the plural for nieces and nephews.
How are you?
Let's see if that's the same word I'm thinking about. Debating on like putting on the thumb rest now or waiting until I get a bunch of them done. Let's see if I have a little bit of extra clay here.
You went to the screening of Pull My Daisy? Did you enjoy it? Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That movie is great. That's the second time I saw it. David
Those all are looking pretty good. You got tired of saying nieces and nephews because the spelling is hard? Yes! So I'll ask my brother every once in a while, how's my nibblings?
Alright, yeah.
I'm gonna sacrifice a handle. And make a thumb rest with a second paw print on it. Tankards get 2 paw print stamps of approval.
Thank you.
And I'm attaching these, right there, only on the handle. Like I've made, some of the first ones I made, I attached them here and on the mug, but that always resulted in, something being broken. Either the thumb rest was like pulled in 2, or everything stuck here and caused a crack right there, or it caused a crack in the handle, because as everything shrinks, that something had to give. So I attach it to the handle, and then everything seems to work okay. Here we go. So we'll move these out of the way. And I will move my bucket so we can see Minnie. going to see if either of these are soft enough to apply. I think they are. So we have here a paladin, and I believe the other one says druid. I'm probably gonna make another quick batch of tankards and make some more of the D&D tankards, because the next show that we're going to is C2E2, and it is like quite a few of the cast of Critical Role is going to be there. So we're gonna have a bit more of the gaming stuff there than I normally would just for an average fandom con. This one needs a bit more, and it may have been too dry. I may have to redo it. Let's put some more water on there. Let it soak for a bit. What is next over here? The dragon one. So as you can see, you don't have to be fancy with it. I'm just slathering things on there. This one says, meddle not in the affairs of dragons, for you are crunchy and taste good with ketchup. Sound advice. Getting some of the little bits off of here. Sometimes it's easier just cutting off some of these areas after you put it on the mug rather than having really fragile parts that could bend and break. Cut it off there, and so we've got little. There's that one. I like making this one with some sort of red, like red and blue or red, blue, and green. Oops, let me do the thumb rest. I accidentally clawed the handle. So this is not something that I normally take the time to do on stream, because it sometimes my just the way things go is I usually throw things during the day and then assemble them in the evening. So I tend to stream the throwing and not the assembling, but I didn't get to all these last night. And then this afternoon I've got a Zoom call meeting I've got to be on. So I thought I'd do this early. Wait, let me get some more. Now you can order any of these things plain, and we sometimes have that, but when I make them for stock, I like to tend to put things on them, especially for the fandom cons. See if that one works. There we go. This one is really soft, so I gotta be careful how I pick it up. If I can put it over here, I just hate having to keep like reaching over. So there's no scoring and slipping because the clay, the mug itself is so soft that I'm just adding this slip. I don't have to score it. Slip is important, but you don't have to scratch up the surface when everything is so soft. Wonder Hamster, I need to talk you out of moving the shop around. How much has been moved already? And also, if you're going to move the shop around, don't you think you should do it like on a Monday or a Tuesday or something? Or at night? Though, honestly, every time we've rearranged things in the store, like during the day, or when we're putting stuff out, that's when people come in and they're like, ooh, can I rummage in the box too? Like, people like seeing things in progress. Oh, you're calculating how much work it's going to be, yeah. There we go. So we have a Druid and we have an iocane powder tankard. Keep forgetting to grab another one. go. So for that one, we have a Dungeon Master. This one is the Green Dragon. Tiki Room, hello. And so it will be some form of green on the glaze. Usually I do a Dungeon Master in solid black, but again, these like can be, I mean, they can all be any color, but here we go. And the tankards get 2 paw prints on them. They get a paw print on the bottom of the handle and then on the thumb rest. There we go. And then they will sit on the shelf to dry out. Because I am done with them now. And then once they dry out, they will go into the kiln. We'll clean them up because there's little like fingerprints and a few bits here and there that need to be smoothed down. But for the most part, they are. I don't have to do anything else significant to them. I remember to grab some more this time. So, we are putting things together today. A plan is coming together. Here's some more handles. Let's see what I've got here. These are the medallions, and if you've not seen me do this part of the process before, this is how we put the graphics on the mugs. I start with a very thin slab of clay here, and then we have rubber stamps that we press the designs into the clay and then cut them out, and we're going to apply them to the mugs now. We need to put the camera like slightly this way because I keep leaning over here to do everything. But we've got put some slip on here, which is just the watered down clay. It acts as the glue that's going to hold everything together. Smooth around the outside a bit. The white that you see on there is a cornstarch, which acts as a release agent for the rubber stamps. I did say something about square potion bottles. Yeah, we could do a gelatinous cube. How would we put, like... Let's see, how could we put things in it? Because the, we could have stamps, because the emerald green glaze would work really well on that. So would the blue one. So would the, cobalt glaze. What would we have our gelatinous cube mug eat? What would be inside of it? Well, so what do gelatinous cube mugs eat? Do they eat swords and dice and things, or do they or do they only consume like spoons and I don't know what else. They consume other mugs. That's what it is. They consume other mugs. Fingers. I don't know. We're gonna get kind of creepy if we go that route. Here we go. Here's a classic Talk Nerdy to Me. Can you tell what this one is yet? This one is technically safe for work. It's an F-bomb mug. Please don't drop it. Only figuratively. we go. There's our thumb rest. This one's still pretty soft. Let me get some more handles out. We've got all these handles prepared. Oh, Minnie did leave us a paw print. See if I can get to it. So I have all these covered up in plastic in a box so they won't dry out. Can you see it? See the little toe beans? It's not like really distinct enough that I think it will show through, but you can see the little squish mark over here and on that one too. Whoops. See, Minnie is small. She does not squish things all that often. All right, what is next? I think I'm going to do this one. It's fluff you fluffin' fluffer. This one does take like a little bit more attention to detail because I went and made a fluffy cat, and so there's a lot of like texture there that I need to define. And so I'm going to go in and kind of highlight those areas instead of trying to cut it out. Like when it's soft, like I end up just smushing all of the design. I found that if I go through like this, it makes it a little bit better, or it looks better. So I just do a loose cut around the piece and then I can smooth that down. And so we have the texture there of the fluffy cat. Let's see if I can hold this because the mug is still quite soft. Don't want to squish the mug either. And then on the very top as well. And that's it. Now we have a Fluff You Fluff and Fluffer mug. We just gotta straighten everything out. I bent the handle. And of course the cat will be black, outline will be white, and I usually make this purple because I like purple, and so why not? Nope, we need a thumb rest. Still need a thumb rest. Let's see. I haven't had one of those in a while. Here we go. Some shape, and then see what I've got over here left. Sometimes when I've got like a square medallion, it's hard to get it to look even because I'm putting it on a round surface, so you gotta kind of stretch the edges a little bit. There we go. Not fragile like a flower, fragile like a bomb. Also something I usually make purple, the sweet pea, the green and purple. I just like purple. I'd make everything purple if I could. There we go. All right, I've got one more I'm gonna do here. So I do need to make a couple more of these because I had some more medallions. This almost reminds me of, hey Chaotic Kitten, reminds me of putting on like decals and stuff because you want to make sure you have like the hydrated surface so you can move around the medallion and then make sure there's no air bubbles behind it. And smooth around the edges. And so a lot of the little areas like that, like the piece is really soft, so all the little like maybe imperfections, not even really that, but just like marks that are left by touching the piece, like we will smooth down later on. Like once it's completely air dried, you can take a sponge, a damp sponge, and just like run the sponge over the edge, kind of like wipe it down, and it'll smooth everything out. And it's much easier to do that when it's dry rather than when it's wet. Oh, that's right, you're still in Ireland. Welcome. Good afternoon. Yeah, it's morning here, so I'm on earlier. What are you doing today? Are you on the vacation part of your trip or the working part of your trip? So we have some of the 24-ounce tankards assembled. Now I'm going to move on to some of the potion bottles. I'll put these up. So the potion bottles I threw yesterday are ready to be assembled. Put that back in there too because I don't need it. And I'd like to do all of these with different medallions on them. Let's see which ones. Let me get these sorted out. There's health, mana. Stamina, and the polyjuice. So we're doing the same thing. We're just putting some slip on here and applying the very small medallion. This one says, Tears of My Enemies. Lassa, hello! You leave on May 4th, you've got everything set till then. There's still so much to see. Oh, I bet. Yeah, we just had a bot come through. That was all. I did lose one, or someone might not see this as much of a loss, but we did have something happen to one of the potion bottles. Can you tell? Can you guess who that was? The culprit is not currently on stream right now. Yep, that is a mere footprint. Squish mark. I'm going to do a skelly grow, filling in some of the gaps of the stock that I had. Wonder hamster, yes. No, I had these covered up last night, and I come in, and right in the middle of all of them, there is this like one squish mark where he's like, he started to walk, and he's like, maybe I shouldn't do that, and so thankfully only one got squished. It would make a nice little cat treat jar, don't you think? Things are going all right. We are, like I said, we got a show coming up in a couple weeks. We are. So what I'm making right now are things for stock for the show, while at the same time like making pieces that have been ordered. Hey, Colleen. We did Tears of My Enemies. We're going to do Tears of My Players. And here's one that was already dried out. This was one of the, you can see, it's the llama from The Emperor's New Groove. This is Cusco's Poison. And then one that's, I don't know if I'd say it's the most popular, because the mana and health and stamina are usually my most popular ones, but this one says Poor Unfortunate Souls, and so I'm going to have the song stuck in my head for the next 2 weeks while making these. So now you can too. It's a cat, yeah, cat treat jar with a mirror autograph, yeah. So we've got the mana, health, and stamina. I do them in the same colors as the, I do the mugs, the mana, health, and stamina mugs, which are going through the slideshow. But they can be ordered in any color. Like, I've had a couple orders come through that I had to, like, double and triple check because I kept, like, second guessing myself, because it was, like, a health mug, health-shaped in Misty Forest, and, like, a stamina mug in the mana color. I'm like, this is messing with my head. Spring break's almost over. What that is, but thankfully I thought it was something smaller than that, but at least it was just like, it almost was like a piece of paper, but no, it probably wasn't paper. Yeah, the spring break for a whole lot of people this month, and got to see my nieces yesterday because they were on their spring break. So Minnie and Mir got tons and tons of pets. We did have to bribe Minnie to come out though, because she was having none of it. So we got 5 of these. Okay, I'll be 1 short. There's a stamina. This one will be green. Is there any other potion bottles I should do? So we do like health, mana, and stamina. I do Polyjuice Potion, Skelly Grow, and the Liquid Luck. I've got the one here that is just poison, but a Happy Jolly Roger. We have Tears of My Enemies and Tears of My Players. And then I did Poor Unfortunate Souls. I do have some already. I do Gummy Berry Juice because I have to. And then I do one that says Love Potion number 9. We have made some Zelda potion bottles in the past, making them look like the pots that get broken. Yeah, all the schools get together and choose this week. I mean, that's probably like better for like a single school system to have spring break on the same week, because if you have kids in different, different grades and they stagger them, then that's aggravating for the parents. But I know like in some of the bigger cities, the different areas will stagger them so everybody's not off at the exact same time. Here we go, health potion. We were talking earlier, like wondering, like, is there like Minecraft potions? Like, I could make a little square potion bottle. I don't know if that would be worth doing, but Daniel had the idea to do a gelatinous cube as either a mug or a potion bottle. I'm like, what would a gelatinous cube mug eat? Would it eat other mugs? Would it eat spoons? We have like the glazes that are fairly transparent, some of them like the green and the blue, that could show texture, so we could put like stamps of different things around it. What do you think a mug would eat? Stamina. All right, so I was too short, or I made 2 extra ones. We have 1 leftover health and 1 leftover stamina, but at least we've got like the same number of both. There we go. And then the samples I had made over here, I've got someone wanting me to make a Estus flask, and I have to look up and see what game it's from. But this was our sample that we did last night. It's the same as these potion bottles. It's just taller, same amount of clay. So it's more like, I guess, similar to a one of the 10-ounce mugs. But This one is, the proportions are more correct on this one, I think. But then this one, the top part needs to be taller. It was Dark Souls. Okay, okay, thank you, Wonder Hamster. But and then I need to put some texture on those. Oh, there's Minnie. So I'll put this back in the handle box. And where are we going to put all these? And I really do think that's going to be like, I'm going to call this the treat jar, cat treat jar. I've made, like, Mir gave me a really good paw print one day, and so I kind of cut it out, and I'm gonna make a cast of it. So maybe we could make some targeted cat approved pieces. But I've got like 30 or so pieces I can throw right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and make those and then let them dry out for a little bit. I'm on early today because I do have a Zoom call this afternoon that I have to do, so I wanted to get some stuff out of the way early. I need to go get some water, and something over here is falling, so adjust this. There we go. So there's my sponge. Make sure it's not in here. I'm gonna go dump some of this out and then get some more water, so I will be right back. Now it's on. I have to adjust everything there anyway, because I've been moving it around. So what I'm going to be making are the some more of the 20-ounce mugs, and then at some point I'll make some more of the tankards as well. But this is what I have to throw right now. Wonder Hamster, it is Origins Day. Yes. So, some shows, like, you give them maybe a preference of, like, I want, you know, a corner booth, or I want this, or I want to be close to this, or some places ask you, like, do you want to be close to somebody? Do you want not to be anywhere near someone? You know, they take things like that into account. Most places try not to put, you know, all the t-shirts right next to each other, all the dice right next to each other. They try to be, you know, considerate like that. Origins is one where they give everybody a number on the list based on priority, and you just they go down the list and let everybody pick their booth, and they do it live, so not everybody submits the same 4 booths. And you have to, like, do tons of communication trying to get a hold of people. They just do it all at one time. So that's happening for me at 3 o'clock today. And Origins really does have one of the better artist alleys, which is why we do it, because they put Artist Alley right in the center of the hall instead of putting it in like a back corner that people have to make a point to go to. Like, everybody walks straight through. It's not necessarily the prime place, but you're limited to only one booth. You can't have more than one, and it's kind of right in the center where everybody's got to go through. Though Fan Expo does, well, except for MegaCon, but some of their smaller shows, they do a similar thing with the Artist Alley, where it's not, you know, isolated. I need this. Okay. See where the guide is. It's almost right. Oh. Yes, it's awesome they do it like that, yeah. It's only been in the last couple of years that they've made a point, Origins has made a point to do the Artist Alley like that, and it works really well. probably need to slow this down just a little bit, but Hey, Minnie, good morning. Hey, Spook. Where you going? So we have been, we were assembling mugs earlier. So I assembled some of the tankards I had here that I didn't get to last night, and then the potion bottles. I'll bring back my favorite one. Because Mir needed to inspect them last night, and so we have one that has a little Mir paw print on it where it was squished, and so I am going to call that one going to keep it and call that one the treat jar. Don't we still have an emote that does that? What's the Claytality emote? Isn't it the cat squishing something like that? That's perfect. That's the embodiment of that emote. 'Cause that's exactly what he did. Yes, there it is. But I might want to keep it for myself. No, I've actually made, Mia's given me some really good paw prints, and so I've made a cast of one of them. So I could probably do that on purpose if I needed to. I don't know if anybody else can hear that, but it is noon, so good afternoon, and welcome. We are in a small town that still plays the tornado siren every day at noon. And it just so happens to be right across the street from us, so we hear it loud and clear. But I'm in the back of the studio, so it wasn't like I can hear it, but it wasn't like overpowering. Oh, you didn't hear it, okay. When I was first starting streaming, like we had the wheel and everything set up in the very front of the studio, and so you could hear it really well up there. Come on now. Right, at least it's not at nighttime. No, it's noon. And I realize it's a holdover from like when it was used to actually help people tell time, but now I just say that they have a big horn and they like to toot it. Yeah, you had that where you grew up, but it was used to help the fire department, depending on how many times it went off, like 1, 2, 3, pause, 1. Oh, okay, yeah. Like in an actual emergency. I mean, yeah, it goes off. I've heard it go off a couple times since we've been here for, I mean, it is a tornado warning signal. Oh, that like long before cell phones, gotcha. Yeah, like I've had it go off here once when we were expecting some bad weather, and I was here at the studio. As I heard it go off, I grabbed Minnie and Kiba and the treat box and got them to go into the little closet with me that you know was the safest place, and bribed them to stay in there. Here she is. She doesn't like the sound of that either. You still have that there with your volunteer fire department, depending on the station, but the main fire company tests their siren every day at noon too. Yeah, that's technically what it is. We're testing it every day at noon. Come on. I've got the table full of stuff, so I don't know if Minnie's just chilling where she is or if she doesn't know how to get across the table. Here she is. You gonna get some biscuits? There you go. I'll have to get the mug out of the way because Minnie's biscuits are amazing. She gets so into it. Hurry up, move the mug. We want to see the cat. Yeah, this needs to be taller. Hello, as your pedal, welcome, and good afternoon. Seems like a very relaxing spot. That's what we try for. That's the goal here. Chill stream with cats and pottery. I'm working on some mugs. Earlier, I was completing some of the pieces I made yesterday, and now we're starting over. We started off by putting handles and medallions on different things. But this is how everything starts out. Alright, so here we go. I am measuring these, so I'm measuring these with the camera. I've got a guide set up in OBS so that I can measure the height of them and adjust as needed. Yeah, throw on these tiles. These are just plain old floor tiles. And it helps to be able to move things around because the clay is obviously very soft when I'm throwing it. And so it's hard to pick something up directly off of the wheel and move it around by itself. So I use these little floor tiles to transport everything. And when they're dry enough to actually pick up without squishing, that's when I put handles on them and such. Very, very kook, very kook. I'm okay with kooky. I'm okay with that. Not necessarily an insult. And all the scraps like this that I cut off, I'm just putting in a bag so I can reuse them later. The other day I did 100 of these mugs in 4 hours, and I didn't have a single claytality, so I measured my scraps, and it ended up being about 5 pounds of scraps, which means that was what, half an ounce per mug on average is what gets cut off. Now I'm going to take these over to my cart. You know, and now that I said the word kooky, I've got the Addams Family stuck in my head now, so I hope everyone else does too now. Let's center that one more time. Yes. See, I said Pottery and Cats. Minnie's just a this is Minnie. She's a little gray tuxedo cat, and though right now she's just a little fluff ball. But she is my supervisor for today. We have 2 studio cats here. Azure Petal, thank you for the follow. So my goal for these is 30 pieces. Hey, buddy. What you doing? Come on. Come on. There you go. Yeah. Is he kneading? He is kneading. Yeah, buddy. Why does my shoulder hurt again? Why do I have back pain? This is the tricky part, buddy. The purr is real. He's proud of himself. Go that way. There you go. This is Mir of the catastrophe. Oh, buddy, he nuzzled my hand, and now he's got clay on his face. Yes, I know. Well, that one's wider than it needed to be, but I had a cat on my shoulder. You gonna let me do this? Yes, there we go. You could have been up here all morning when I was assembling things, but now you've decided it's nap time. Come on, focus now. Focus. Come on. Come on. There we go. There. Just had to get the cat, bring the cat closer to the camera. I think I am gonna leave it alone. I think it's cute, and it could also be like a cat treat jar. So. I know my hands are messy. Are you gonna work with me, or are you gonna make Kiba proud? You're just gonna go really, really slow. Yeah. Look at him. He don't care. He don't care about anything. He learned from Kiba. So now we can see Mir in all his glory. Minnie wants nothing to do with the wheel. She won't do this. There we go. There we go. He takes up considerably less space than Kiba did on the wheel. But I'm sure he'll get there. Like, he's still not a year old yet. Yes. What are you doing? Like, this is good. This is what we're going to do for the next little bit, right? Y'all, I promised pottery, but I'm afraid it's going to be a cat petting stream. Oh. At least the cameras are lining up pretty well. Koyuki, hello. Yeah, works for you. You're good, yeah. Yeah, like, this is what we signed up for anyway. There we go. Well, there's that view, everybody. There we go, yeah. Can't have a camera pointed at a cat without having a shot of his rear end. Mm-hmm. What are we doing? You hear his motor? No, I don't know if you can hear it, but he's pretty loud over here. I was asking Stream if they could hear it. You can hear it over there, yeah. You can't, yeah, you can hear it. That's such a happy face. Here we go. Just trying to get it in camera. Easily distracted though. There you go. Easily distracted. He brought it back. He's got the zip tie in his mouth. Thank you, buddy. Mm-hmm. Right, he's a silver retriever. They're the golden retriever. I've never seen a cat fetch one. I'm not really sure he was bringing it to me. I'm gonna move this before it dies. So, kind of a sad but heartwarming story. Did y'all hear about, like, talking about cats fetching? Did y'all hear about the story of the older man who fell in his home and didn't have any of his, like, security devices on him, but, like, and he had his cat bring him his phone because his cat knew like the sound of the phone, and he was like made the sound that the phone makes, and his cat got it, brought him his phone. So cats can be taught. They just need proper motivation. Then he slept through the whole thing, yeah. Your leader will fetch. Neil will run after it, but forget to bring it back. Yes. I think that was like whenever the cell phone would ring, like the person would, you know, talk to himself, talk to the cat, and go ring, 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 and then go get the phone and talk on the phone. And so when he fell, like he went like ring, ring, ring to the cat, and the cat brought him his cell phone. I don't know how many tries it took, but he eventually brought him his cell phone. The cat probably realized he was in trouble. Could have, yeah. Well, and the cats in the studio even here, like, they recognize our standard workstations, like at the wheel, There's like a place where we clean, a shelf where we clean the pots, and then the slab roller where we make medallions and stuff, or where we make like that's right next to where we do handles. Like they recognize our workstations, and they're like, okay, we're here. I know I'm gonna lay here. I know what we're doing, and I'm gonna watch. And as soon as you like move somewhere else to do something different, they're like, what are we doing? This is new. And you can tell they're just like what is this? This is new. This is interesting. Like we gotta figure this out. That one was only about a minute. Well, and it's like Kiba, our older cat, he would come up here and he would watch me, and that's why Mir knows that the wheel is a special place, because Kiba would come up here and sit next to me, and he would watch while I made a mug. And as I got done with the mug, he recognized as I got done and moved the tile, he would purr. He would purr super loud. And if I put another tile on and started another mug, he would stop purring. Because sometimes when I got done, I would pet him, or I would let him come sit on the wheel and pet him. But if I put another tile on and started another one, he knew he wasn't going to get pets. And so he would stop purring. Azure Petal, thank you for the sub. Yeah, welcome to the Muddy Buddies. Enjoy your paw print badge and all your kitty emotes. And thank you for helping us keep the cats in kibble. Yes, we do. We have one of the collars like Minnie has, the air tags. Wasn't so much the problem of getting him a collar, it was finding it. Although I don't really want to let him outside, so I haven't like put it on him yet, because I don't want him to go outside, but I probably should in case he does get outside. Because this is the cat that decided to take a nap in a pothole. So, you know, I don't really want to let him loose with that half a brain cell. Yeah, well, the, actually, I think those have a belt on them. Hers may have come off. I have to remember. He needs a brain, yeah. Maybe we should have just called him the Tin Man. Or no, that's Scarecrow. Sorry, Scarecrow. We should have called him Scarecrow, but my, But my mother has a cat named Scarecrow, so we can't do that. Because she has a Batgirl and a Scarecrow. Yeah, so all the clay pieces are weighed out ahead of time. That's like the first step in, you know, preparing what we're going to do for the day. Like, what am I going to throw? What size, what shape am I going to make? So, you know, making these, I know I'm going to be making these mugs. And especially when I'm filling a lot of orders, or like what I'm doing now, just building up stock, I will see what all needs to be made and make a bunch of the same thing at the same time, because it's more efficient that way. It didn't hit anything, me nor the cats, but that's why I stop and I step back when this thing gets away from me, because we call it the metal rib of death, because it is. I mean, it's just a piece of sheet metal. And it works great for what I'm doing here, but it's the type of thing that probably is being phased out, because it will cut you, and it's like a really bad paper cut. When it gets you, you don't realize it until you just see blood everywhere. There's a plastic rib of slight maiming. I've never had the plastic one hurt me, but it works so well for smoothing out and shaping some of the round surfaces. I just need to use enough water to make it worthwhile. You need to have a little bit of water on the surface of the clay so that the friction doesn't make things stick like that. Oh no, don't think you're bugging me with questions at all. No. This is one of the easiest things for me to stream, the throwing, because I am mostly confident in what I'm doing. Like I'm familiar with the form, and I don't really have to think about it all that much, so I just kind of let my hands do their thing, and I can talk to chat. Like when at one point I did like a blindfolded throwing stream just as a fun thing to try, and I realized how much of what I'm doing is by feel and not by sight. So it's I can do what I'm doing with my hands and reach out. That kind of explained a little bit more of why I was able to do that so much easier than like when I'm doing something like the glazing. I feel like takes more concentration on my part to make sure I'm doing getting all the right spots than this. Chaotic Kitten, yes. Thanks for stopping by. I will pet all the kitties for you. I'm gonna just make this taller and see what there's a chunk stuck to the side. Let's see what this is. Was blindfolded part of the pottery throwdown? Like yes, I think they've probably done that multiple times now, but at least at some point that was one of the challenges. See what you can do blindfolded. We did I did it once, like really early on, for like within the first year. We just did that as a special thing, fun thing to try. And then in 20 or 21, like all the different potters that were streaming at the time, we got together and did our own like Twitch pottery throwdown, and the way it was organized is we like gave ourselves like the same thing to do. Like every week you had a week to do this task or this challenge, and so you submit a video of you doing the challenge, and then put them all together to see the results. And one of those challenges was also blindfold. It was like specifically like a blindfolded like cylinder or something. Making it all the same thing so you can see how everybody's different approaches to the same thing. This one feels a little bit wobbly. It's a little bit off. We might still be able to make it into a mug. Did I center this or did I just start making things? Either that or like sometimes if the clay is not all the same consistency, either there's some dry pieces, dry chunks or dry sections, or if the bag wasn't closed and some pieces started to dry out, it can leave the pot with one side thicker than the other and make it hard to center. Like this, it's very, very slight, but you can see the rim is one side is thicker than the other. And it's not as tall as it needs to be. I'm gonna work with it, and if it makes it worse, then I'll just start on another one. That's why it's important to have the clay be all the same consistency. Alright, that's a little bit better. Let's see what it looks like when I actually stop it. Yeah, it'll work. Oh, it is. It is definitely more complicated than I'm making it look, because it takes like it doesn't take a lot of strength to do this, because people ask that sometimes, like, you know, or does it, you know, my hands get tired over time. It doesn't take a lot of strength. It just takes control to put the right amount of pressure in the right spot to move the clay around. but it is a lot of fun, and it's a fun challenge. Like so many people, there's a lot of opportunities for people to take classes and to kind of learn the basics, and so many people want to come in and take a class because they see someone else doing it, you know, and it looks so easy. So they're like, oh, this could be fun and easy, and they get extremely frustrated when it's not easy, because there are so many of these art class experiences that are popular for people to do, kind of like a paint and play. Let's paint a piece of pottery, or a paint and wine night where it's kind of basically a paint by number or paint by instructions, and everybody, you know, leaves with something at the end, and it's, you know, you don't have, or the ones that are popular around here too is like painting stencils onto a sign, you know, painting words and such onto something as a craft activity, a social craft activity. And so people expect pottery to be the same. And so the first time I tried to do classes, which when we got the building here, I wanted to offer classes because that's something, you know, everybody asked me about it, so I did. And I learned real quick, like, the difference in what I thought people would want to come in and learn versus what they actually wanted of the experience. Yeah, talking about the consistency of the clay, like if one side, if it's lumpy, like if there's like harder chunks in one side in part of it, when you start to throw it, like when you're putting, you know, I'm putting pressure trying to thin out the walls, if the harder chunk is in there, it's not gonna move, that clay's not gonna move around at the same rate as the softer clay, and so you're gonna have a big lump in there. Like I remember one of the classes I had somebody ask to do like a team building, which was like, you know, a workplace event that didn't take that long. And so I had a bunch of pieces that people could paint. That was my first paint and play. And when I would go like to a professional workshop, I would, you know, the way the classes run is you have some pieces maybe that you've made or that you're doing something with, you're learning a technique. And so the teacher shows you a technique, and then because you're all it's a room full of creative people who know what they're doing, you run wild with it. Okay, you've learned this thing, now let your creativity run wild and do whatever you want to do, which is what most of us want to do. You know, we just needed some instruction and a place to start from. But I did that with the people that oh, someone's up front? Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Let me see what we got. I shall return. All right, we're back. Had somebody, we've got a local bed and breakfast that has ordered some mugs, and they're actually in the kiln right now, so they were just coming to check on them. And petting the cats. Mir got quite a bit of pets, and I had to keep him from biting someone's toes. He gets playful. He has these bursts of energy that he's a kitten. He goes from like passed out and you can't wake him up to I'm gonna climb on your shoulder. I think I was talking about the people at my very first like paint and play class. Like I had like these had like techniques for painting, underglazes. It wasn't a like this is how you paint a flower. It was here are underglazes. You can paint them on and you can make patterns. You can do anything you want. Here are the materials. Now go have fun. And like it was like the fear in people's eyes was like visible. Like they didn't know what to do. I'm like, here, have fun. This is fun. And so we had to, and what like I did such a disconnect. They're like, can you do it for me? I want to do this pattern. Can you do it for me? Because I want it to look nice. And I'm like, these were adults, but so I learned. And it's that's the biggest difference between teaching kids and adults is adults are very result driven, where kids don't care. They're like, yeah, we can get messy. So I've done several like Girl Scout and Boy Scout classes over the years. And the same thing was like with my first wheel throwing class I was going to have it be just wheel throwing, and I was going to teach them how to do it properly. You're going to learn. But people got so frustrated that we ended up, I was like, here, we've got the slab roller. We can also do this. We can also learn something else about clay. And people were able to make like small little platters, which they were much happier with because that was an instant result and seemed easier. And I had some people come back that wanted to take I've done 6 to 8 week classes where people want to come and learn the different parts of the process. But most people, when I've done classes, I ended up putting together a 3-hour just experience class where we make a few things on the wheel where I help them just so they can say they've done it. Are there other types of throwing? So wheel throwing is spinning the clay on the wheel and making things. That's what that is called. Some other techniques are more like different techniques of like forming the clay. So you've got hand building, which is taking the clay, either like pinching it into shape or rolling out coils of clay and building up a form, or using slabs where you roll out a flat piece of clay and then maybe cut it into shapes and build something, or maybe form it into something else. And then there's slip casting, which is pouring liquid clay into a mold and then letting it dry and cutting it out. But Alright, I need to do like 3 more of these to get to 30. It is 3 o'clock our time. Is the call. Not that I ever lose track of time. Yes, thank you for checking up. I'm gonna make after this one, I think one more. Oh, of course I did say this is the last one I'm doing. Come on now. Let's see. There we go. You can't even tell, can you? There's like a very slight lump in there. We're good. We're good. We saved it. Nothing to see here. Cover up my scraps. Okay. All right, here we go. So I am going to take a break and then work on some of these while I wait for my call. I'm gonna see who else is on. But we made, we got 30 of these made, these forms made, and we did what, like 20 or so tankards, and then I think it was 16 of the potion bottles. Hey guys, thanks for watching. We're actually gonna go see someone else working in clay, MW Mudworks. Looks like they're doing some sculpting on some bottle forms they made. So we're gonna go say hi to them in just a minute. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all later. Here we go.